Guys, this is Palm Garaya with ProBox for Spec TKO. A very special edition today. I'm here with Member of Parliament Tan Desi. Tan, how are you, mate? You all right?
I'm fine, Palm, and it's great to have you here present in our parliamentary office in Westminster.
I really appreciate the offer to come down. I know we've tried to do it a couple of times and must be so busy. First of all, I want to start off with obviously saying congratulations on your recent appointment as Member of Parliament for Slough, and also the first Turban Sikh MP as well. I'll add. You must be over the moon, mate. That's an understatement, but.
Palm, it was never my aim in life. That wasn't my ambition to become the MP, or as I became a mayor or a councillor.
Yeah.
And like I told you last time when we caught up at my house, in fact, when you did the interview.
That's right.
But it's just something which has gradually, sometimes you don't find the path in life; the path finds you. And when I was at school, was at uni, it was more about probably setting up my own little business, following in my parents' footsteps. They had their own small construction business, which is what I eventually went on to do. But gradually, having been involved in the Labour Party for the last 15 odd years, I got selected as encouraged to stand for council in 2007, and then it just went from there. So lo and behold, come 2017, I've become the MP for Slough. Yeah,
I know. I was just going to say you've held various posts as well. Obviously, councillor, mayor, and now the ultimate, if you like, member of parliament. For any of the viewers, if they tune in from the US later on or Canada, it's the equivalent of a senator, I believe, out there. So we're going to big you up, Tan Desi.
Thank you.
Tan, I want to sort of, you mentioned how we caught up about 6 months ago. How's life changed for you and the family since you've been in office then?
Life changes immensely. The role of an MP is very challenging. Each day is different. You've got so many different things going on. There's a plethora of issues that you've got to be on top of, whether it's in terms of the constituency, whether it's other issues that are important to you, for example, on the environment, whether it's issues affecting the Sikh community, the Muslim community, the Hindu community, the Christian community. You've got various things to do, with the wider infrastructure,
Sure.
or whether it's to do with healthcare, the NHS, schools. You've got to know about all of these issues, and you're invited to lots and lots of different events as well. So you're asked to speak at various events. You've got to know people. There's no point in me being interviewed by Palm Garaya if I don't even know Palm Garaya's name.
Very true.
Yeah, I've got to know what you're about, because you could ask me any question as well.
Yep.
So that's why it's very, very challenging. And people think that most of the time it's all about what you do in the chamber, as in when you're sitting on the green benches. But let me reassure you, 90% of the time you're actually involved in other meetings, in other events, either in the constituency or elsewhere in the country as well. So just as I did before, I went out to help other friends, within the Labour movement in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
I'm still doing that now. But I've gradually reduced some of my other responsibilities, and I'll continue to do that, because the role of an MP is pretty full on.
And just mentioning that, just latching on to that, bit where you mentioned outside of the office as well, you're at 100 miles per hour. So there's probably little time to relax, isn't there? You probably got your nose in all the books all the time, haven't you?
Yeah, no, well, you've got to read widely and be in 50 different places, but you've also got to time find for the family.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes it's very difficult when you've got wife. I've got a couple of little kids. You've got the wider family as well. You've got those social occasions. So it's sometimes you're kind of juggling balls, but it can lead to strained relations as well. And I know
Sure.
that within politics and within media, within public life, that is often the case, where relationships can become strained. I can tell you one example when I wasn't the most favourite guy in the household is when I missed my own son's birthday party.
Wow.
So, but the problem was we didn't know the birthday party was going to be on that Sunday. I'd already committed to a good friend of mine up north that I would definitely come and help him out, on that particular day. But that's just the way life is. Yeah, where if you're committed, then sometimes it's hard to pull out. But yeah, I do try to take some time out for the family as well.
Yeah, it's very important, as you say, Tad, and full respect for actually going up north and helping your friend out. I'm sure it's much appreciated. Just want to turn another guy that I've been recently watching, somebody you've met yourself, Jagmeet Singh, who's recently been elected as leader of New Democratic Party. Big up to Mr. Jagmeet Singh. Now, I've personally watched a few interviews with him, find him very engaging, charismatic. You know him personally. What's your feelings on his victory and potentially maybe even you guys working together one day internationally?
No, it's a matter of record that I came out in support of him because the NDP, as a party in Canada, its values are closely aligned to the Labour Party here in the UK. But it was more to do with him as a person. I think, just as I said in my own maiden speech, we broke a glass ceiling here to get the first ever turban Sikh elected anywhere in Europe as an MP. But that is another glass ceiling that has been truly broken, because Jagmeet Singh has become the first ever Sikh person, someone from a minority community who has now been elected to be the leader of one of the mainstream political parties. So well done to him. I know that takes a lot of hard work to get to those positions. You need a lot of support around you. You can't please everybody. That's just the nature of the game. But a lot of people actually in Canada have made great strides. For example, if you look at within amongst the Canadian Sikhs, Harjit Sajjan, Navdeep Singh Bans, various other parliamentarians who've gone on to serve within the cabinet previously as well as now. You had the likes of Manmeet Bhullar, the late Manmeet Bhullar. He served superbly in Alberta and so on. So all of those guys, Manmeet was another very good friend of mine, a great public servant. But all you can do is to try to align yourself with people whose values you like, who you think are good people. We might not agree politically on everything. Sometimes you can be in one particular party and you can have differences. But if you think the person's a good person, you think that they're hardworking, they're doing it with all the right intentions, then I think you should support them, and that's exactly what I did with Jagmeet as well.
Well, you could be in your own home and in the workplace. You're never going to agree, but as long as you, as you say, people are hardworking, good values, that's the main thing for me as well. Now, I know you're very passionate. You mentioned a couple of the topics already. Actually, I just want to rewind a little bit, because you did mention something about Jagmeet and yourself as well, that you can't always please anybody. I know recently you had, a little bit of, let's say, social media backlash. How's that affected you, or do you just sort of get on with it and just grow another layer of skin?
Well, I've been in public life for the last 10 years. There have been periods when you get lots of praise and you get lots of abuse. I think in terms of abuse and harassment, unfortunately, it's a part of society. But I think elected people end up getting a lot more. Because, as I said, you can't please everybody. You've got lots of different issues. But I'd rather not dwell too much on that, because ultimately it's your family and friends, the supporters who've stuck with you through thick and thin. They give you a lot of support. And even when I've gone through periods of receiving abuse, it was good to see colleagues from the party, colleagues from the local constituency or the local, the Sikh community and others come out in support. Because that does mean a lot, in any field. But ultimately, what you do is, you've got to go issue by issue on things that you feel strongly about. You get involved, and sometimes you can be in agreement with some people. Other times, that's not the case.
Exactly.
But ultimately, also a lot of the MPs and other people in public office, what they said is, most of the time we end up ignoring it. But there are times when you've got to call it out, because if you stand by and suffer in silence to injustice, then that's not the Sikh way. The Gurus have taught us that you've got to fight injustice, whether that's for yourself or whether that's for others. But That's
Well, it's good. You know, I mean, constructive criticism any
yeah.
point. I'm sure you would welcome that.
Constructive criticism is always
Um,
good. I think it's when it comes to effing and blinding, and when it comes
It's
to
harassment, isn't
personal
it?
harassment of you or your
Yeah.
staff or your family, then I think it's a different thing where you've got to come out all guns blazing and you've got
Yeah.
to try to fight that as well.
And I'm sure there was more than just the Sikh community, but me personally as well. I just want to say big up to all those people, Gravesend and further afield, who came out on social media to support
they
you in a
did.
massive way.
Uh,
So well done, guys.
I was overwhelmed, touched, by that love and support. Believe me, more than you could imagine.
Yeah,
Because when the chips are down, when you're under pressure, and believe me, life and politics and as an MP, it is a pressure cauldron. You're
Sure.
constantly, under scrutiny by the media or by other people. So you've got to hold your own. But it's the supporters and people who are empathetic that actually take you through, those difficult times.
sure. Tan, just quickly want to touch on a couple of initiatives that I've seen you working on, and one of them is to try and restore an airline service, direct service from London Heathrow to Amritsar, Punjab, which I know is a big thing for a lot of the Punjabi community here as well. And I saw something which was nice to see as well, something called Langar with the MP as well.
Yeah.
So are you keeping up to date with those as well? Are you on that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Working across the community, working with the Sikh ethos of Sarbat da Pala, so
Yeah.
working for the betterment of all,
Yeah.
regardless of background or colour or creed. So I get involved in various charities, as I've always done. I've always, I've served as a trustee of the Alzheimer's and Dementia Support Services, MenCap and other charities, as a school governor. While I can't now be fully involved in a particular charity, what I do do is take out time. Langar Week was a prime example. Some very good-minded individuals wanted to do that, so supported them out. I'm going on a sleep out soon.
Oh, really?
To highlight the unfortunate, the deprivation within many sections of our community where
Sure.
the homeless are out on the street. So I'm going to be getting involved in that initiative as well. But yeah, you're right. In terms of the Punjabi community, I know a lot of your viewers will be from the Punjabi community worldwide. But yeah, whether it's the reintroduction of direct flights between London and Birmingham and Amritsar, so to try to have that direct link, that's something that I've been working on. Another very exciting project is with other like-minded individuals, just as we did in Gravesend, where we had the Sikh soldier statue in the town centre, which was a good community project, bringing everybody together and look at that magnificent statue. Now we're going to go on a lot higher level, whereby we need to raise more than £500,000 to have a Sikh soldier statue to commemorate all those that made the ultimate sacrifice, because more than 80,000 turban Sikh soldiers died during the First World War. Hundreds of thousands were injured in various conflicts. So to highlight that and to have that greater integration and community cohesion, because it acts as a lesson of history as well.
Yeah.
We're going to, working with the Mayor of London, working with other MPs from across different parties, and working with Sikh organisations and non-Sikh organisations as well. We want to achieve that monument in the centre of London.
Okay.
So that's something else that I will be coming out to the community, and I'll be tapping you up, Palm, for a donation for that as well.
No problem.
But no, that we've got to constantly be working, on various initiatives. So that's just something in terms of the Punjabi or the Sikh community that I will be, spearheading and getting involved in.
And guys, this chap here is very, very approachable. He's not just a member of parliament, but he's a normal guy, very humble guy. So reach out to him via social media. Tan, it's obviously been a great honour for me to come here today. Before we wrap up, you've probably said it already on camera. Anybody in particular you want to thank out there?
Well, I'd like to thank all of those that have put me in this position to serve the community. Whether that's people in Slough, whether that's people in Gravesend, people who have been involved in my life throughout. Without those friends and family and supporters, I'm nothing basically. I need those people, their encouragement and their love, ongoing as well. So thank you, and hopefully you'll keep your blessings and your support with me. But one thing that I can assure you is that, as per before, I'll be trying to work very, very hard for all your good self, so that you're proud, of the MP that you've helped to put in place. And what I'll also be doing is to make sure that I'm working for everybody, regardless of their background and regardless of any other association they may have with any particular sub-community. But thanks, Palm, for coming here, and
Appreciate it.
keep up the good work. I hope you continue to grow from strength to strength in your
Thank you.
own dynamic life as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep representing, and thank you very much for coming to Parliament.
I appreciate that, Tan. And just finally from me, obviously, thank you for the time today. Keep working hard. You know, you're not just a member of Parliament, but to me, you're a friend and a brother as well.
Thank you.
And I wish you every success in the future. Take care, Tan.
Cheers.